Hello and welcome to Access 360 Admin Training. To get to the Admin module, you're going to type in your regular URL /admin. When you press Enter, it's going to ask you for your admin username and your admin password. And once that is entered, you're going to be taken to the admin homepage. In the top right-hand corner, we're going to start with Account. When you click on Account, this tells you your login information and what permissions you have. The next one over is our support form. The support form will open in a new window, and you can submit a request directly to tech support by filling out this form completely. Please make sure you're as specific as possible when describing your issue. The top fields are required, and you'll notice a category is also required. If you cannot find a category that matches, choose one that best matches, and then you can make sure you enter a detailed description below. If you can include the device type, that would be helpful. Once you're done, click Send. As I said, this opens in a new window, so I'm just going to click back to our main screen, and the next tab is our marketing tools. These are all of our promotional tools. You can see that we have all of the different types of tools here. You can click on patron-facing materials. We have bookmarks, posters, social media graphics, a lot of different material here. You can sort it by different views. You can view it. You can filter it, different search terms. So feel free to look around these marketing materials and use them to your best advantage to promote the Axis 360 product. Going to click back to our main page again, and next to that we have our help link. If you'd like to learn more about the admin system or module, you can click on the help link. And this is an interactive help, and it is article-based website. So you can click on any of these boxes, or you can search term, put in a search term, and be able to get additional help. You'll also notice that you can contact support, find out what's new, view different topics, and go back to the home page by clicking on the icons in the top left-hand corner. Going back to our form, I'm going to click on the home icon in the upper right-hand corner. Notice that we have homes, settings, reviews, and reports. Reports is a different webinar, and today we're going to cover our settings. When we click on settings, it's going to take us to our library settings. When we click on library settings, this is where you will manage your library's loan and review settings for your patrons. At the top of the page is the lending settings. This is where you can set your ebook and audiobook checkout limits. If you ever have any questions on what a field is, you can hover over the circle and that will tell you what it means, or it will give you a definition. The checkout limit is the maximum titles a patron can check out at one time. In the hold limit, you can set the maximum number of titles a patron can have on hold at once. This is usually set to 10, and there are 3 options in the hold limit. No holds means no one can place holds on your titles. Limited means only a certain number of holds can be placed, and unlimited means that your patrons can place as many holds as they'd like on titles. Hold period is the length of time and days patrons will have to check out a title after the title is reserved. This is normally set to 3. This is a virtual hold cart. So if I am the next person in the hold queue and the person before me returns the book, I have this many days to check it out, or it will go to the next person on the hold list or be marked as available on the home page. Minimum lending and maximum lending periods are not used, so we'll go to the default lending period. The default lending period contains a default number of days that a title is checked out when patrons select checkout. Renewal limit is the maximum number of titles a patron can renew at one time. Please note that any PDF or EPUB formats checked out cannot be renewed or placed on hold until the lending period is over. In the renewal limit field, there are 2 options. If you select no renewals, the renewal notification and renewal fields will disappear. This means your patrons will not be able to renew any titles. When you select unlimited, the renewal notification period contains the number of days before expiration to begin notifying the patrons that they can renew the title. So if this is turned on, if I have a book checked out a couple of days before it's due, I'm going to get a notification and it's going to show on my home page as expiring soon. And then I would have a renew button. It's only going to allow me to renew that book, and it will only show me that renew option if no one else has that book on hold. The renewal period contains the number of days the expiration will be extended. So if I say 21 days, it will check to make sure no one else has a hold. If not, it will allow for that renewal. The renewal button will not display for any title that has additional holds placed on it. The next area is Enable Patron Recommendation section. If you would like to allow patrons to recommend titles that you don't currently have in your Access 360 repository, this is something that you cannot enable yourself. You'd have to contact support via the support form to have them activate it. And once that is on, then you can set a limit of titles that can be recommended by an individual patron in the recommendation limit field. If, for example, you put a 1 there, then your patrons can recommend one book a week. Please note, if you do allow recommendations, the entire catalog of Access 360 digital content will be available for your patrons to recommend. This could include inappropriate content in the case of schools. If you do have patron reviews enabled on your site, you can create a list of excluded words. These are a list of words you've established as potential red flags. Anytime a review contains one of these words, it would be categorized under the excluded review section within the administration system. Below the excluded words area, you can enable your patron reviews. Enabling patron reviews lets you display patron reviews of library titles on your Access 360 website. If the reviews are enabled, you are responsible for reviewing and approving or deleting them. If a review contains any of the excluded words entered in the above section, it will be categorized under the excluded reviews heading away from your other pending reviews. The following patron review options are available. Industry reviews enabled will display available industry reviews for all of your titles. Patron reviews enabled will allow your patrons to write reviews for your titles. Select View Other Public Reviews to make patron reviews from other libraries public to your own patrons. Make My Review Public will make your own library patron reviews visible to other libraries who are using Access 360. On the right-hand side, prevent pre-pub back-ordered titles from displaying on the site. This will prevent any not yet published or back-ordered titles from displaying on your Access 360 site. Customers use this because they don't want to buy pre-pub because they don't want them to show up right away. So this way, if you do buy pre-pub, you can prevent them from showing. Once available, these titles will automatically appear on your site. Automatically checkout holds means that the patron automatically gets their holds checked out to them. If you check this, each patron has to go into their settings to have new holds auto-checked out. Prevent expired titles from displaying on the site. So if you have metered books, by default, they will continue to display on the site in case someone wants to place a hold, but it will say 0 of 0 copies available when clicked on. You can choose not to have that on. This is here because some of our customers wanted to let the title expire and only repurchase if they get additional requests. Some customers use this to allow their holds to determine whether or not they're going to repurchase expired titles. And they don't even purchase off of the expired titles list anymore. They just wait until the demand is there. The only con of doing that is if you don't get your hold threshold, then the patron thinks they have a book on hold and it never comes in. You would have to check those holds to see who has it on hold every once in a while. Moving to the top, we're going to go to the next tab, which is branding. You can use this branding tab to give your Access 360 website a unique look. You can upload a new logo, and then if you want your logo to have a hidden URL, you can do that as well. What you can do is you can put in the URL here, and you can test the URL. So what this will do is when your patrons click on your logo, it will go to the URL that you have indicated. Please test your URL to make sure that it is correct before you publish. Tagline we're working on, so it's currently not available. So if you do put text in here, there's not enough real estate to have that display at the top of the screen. So even if you put text here, it won't display. But you can put in a footnote. What this will do is it will put in a note at the bottom of your screen. You'll need to first click on the preview button to make sure the changes are what you expect them to be. It will open in a new window. So we'll see that it's loading. You can check to make sure that it's what you want right here at the bottom. And if it is correct, then what you will do is go back and publish. When you do publish, it's going to ask you if you are okay with that and give you a confirmation message, and then you would select OK. Now let's look at the messaging tab. In the messaging area, you can create custom time-sensitive pop-up messages to display for patrons when they are on your Access 360 site on the website. It does not appear in the app. You can create these messages, again, by clicking on the Message tab, click on the Add Notification box, and you can put in a start date and an end date. It is required. When you enter the start date, the message will display immediately upon publication on the date indicated. When you enter an end date, the message will display on your website until the date indicated. You enter a header for the text, and if you would prefer to have your patrons the ability to opt out after they've seen the message once, then you can select the opt out box. The patron will then be able to click on Don't Remind Me, and the message won't continue to show for them. Enter your message in the text editor at the bottom, and then click Preview to preview your new message in another window. You must preview your message before it can be published on your site. Your message will display at the top of your Access 360 site in yellow. Once you're happy with your message, click Publish to publish your message. I'm going to click on the arrow in the upper left-hand corner to go back to our main menu, and now we're going to click on Notifications. Clicking on the notifications takes us to the Settings notification area. This section will let you determine who in your staff you wish to receive holds notification and expiring content notifications. Please note that the notifications are not limited to administrative users only. You could specify staff who are not set up as Access 360 admin to receive these email notifications. Before you can assign them an admin user, the hold notification emails, you must indicate the holds ratio in the Set Holds Ratio field. This holds ratio is the number of holds that must be placed before the notification email is sent. So for example, if you enter 5 in this field, your notification user will receive an email once the 5th hold is placed on an item in your digital collection. In the expiring content notification area, enter the remaining circulation trigger in the remaining field. This is the number of remaining circulations that must be placed before the notification is sent. So for example, if you have a circulation limit of 10 for titles, you may want to receive an email once 5 circulations have been placed to ensure you're able to reorder this title before losing access to it. Use the remaining time trigger fields for titles that are metered by time. Your options are week, month, 2 months, 6 months, and a year. Once you're done setting these top settings, you must click Save to save those settings. In the bottom area of your screen, you can create the contact who will receive these notifications. If you would like to add an existing contact, click on Add. That's going to ask you for their name. That is required. And if you want to put in their department, that is optional. Then you need to choose whether the user will receive notification cards within TitleSource 360. If so, then select TitleSource 360. You will need to enter in the TitleSource 360 username associated with this contact, as well as the user's email address. This will create a cart for you within TitleSource 360, so you'll get a cart within your holds, and you can delete the ones you don't want to repurchase and purchase the ones that you do. If you would like this user to receive notification emails via a spreadsheet, then you would select the email option and then enter the user's email name. You must select one of these options and then click Create. If you want to edit any options that you have, you can delete a contact by clicking on Delete, and it will ask you if you want to delete it. You will say yes. It will tell you that it's been deleted successfully. Or if you want to edit someone, you would click on the Edit Contact, and that would allow you to change their name or their contact information. Once you have the user in there, then you can assign them notifications. So if you want them to get hold notifications, select hold notification. They will then receive an email when the hold ratio is met for titles in your repository. Title delete will send an email when titles expire or are manually removed from your repository. If you select the title recommendation option, the user will receive a spreadsheet once a week via email that contains all titles along with the format recommended by your patrons. To receive an email when titles are placed in your repository, select Order Notification. This email will typically be sent within 2 to 3 hours of the title being placed in your digital repository, and the title will show on the home page, and you will get an email notification. Click Save to complete saving your assignments. Finally, please note that for expiring content, you'll get 2 notifications, one when it is near expiring and one when it expires. I'm now going to go back to the left and go back to our home page. We're going to talk a little about patron management. What it does here is patron management is if you do have patron management, a patron that loses their card, you can just give them a new card, and then you can merge their barcodes or change their barcode. If you have to do this and you've forgotten how to do this, I'm not going to walk through these steps because it's not often that you have to do this. Go to the help screen and type in merge barcodes, and it will take you right to the article that allows you to do that. Here you can also reset the patron password. You can change their barcode. You can impersonate the patron. You can view the patron details, and you can edit the details if you need to do so. Going to go back to our main menu system by clicking on the arrow. And we're going to go over to the Manage Holds queue. This allows you to move patrons up and down the hold queue if they desire. So when you click on a title, you can search for a specific title by your collection, by keyword, title, or author in the upper left. We can choose a title, and if there were holds on the title, then there would be items, people listed here or patrons listed here, and I would be able to choose the arrow next to them or the bar next to them and drag and drop them to the position that I want to move them to. Your changes are automatically saved, so you can exit the pop-up when you're done making changes for this title. I'm going to click the back arrow. And I'm going to go back one more time. That takes us back to our home area, and we're going to talk about admin user management. This lets you update and activate or inactivate administrative users. So in addition, you can select a level of permissions each administrator has within the site. So you can create some admin users with universal privileges and other with lesser privileges. What you would do is just click on Add New User. You would type in their name, password, the information that's listed above, and then you can come down and you can check what permissions that they have, and then you can click Save. When you're entering in the password, at the minimum, when you're creating this, at the minimum, the top 3 bars are required. The top 3 information is required. The password must be a minimum of 8 characters in length with at least 1 uppercase letter, 1 lowercase letter, and 1 number. Once you've created the individual, click Save. Once that individual has been created, you can come over and you can edit the user by clicking Actions. Edit the user will allow you to go in and change those permissions. We're going to go back to the main menu. If you do have your patrons creating patron reviews, then we're going to come over to the review option in the upper right-hand corner. When we click on reviews, you're going to see that there are 2 sections. You can approve and unapprove patron reviews. You cannot edit the reviews. To view reviews, click on this option and you'll see that there's a little star with a number in it. When you click on that, that's going to show you the reviews. Please note that the number of views you'll need to approve displays again in that upper right corner. A list of reviews that you need to approve will display. To click the Clear Approve icon to approve the associated reviews. So you can reject all, you can approve all. A review can only be approved or rejected in full. If you want to approve all reviews at once, then do the approve all. If you want to reject all of them, do reject all. You can go in and look, reject, or you can approve it here on the left-hand side as well, individually. You'll get a confirmation message when you approve or reject reviews. Approved reviews will display on your Axis 360 site as soon as you approve them. You can do the same for excluded reviews. So those are those reviews that have those red flag words in them. You would do the same thing. You would click on that little star, and you can either approve all, reject all, or approve or reject individual ones. Again, reviews can only be approved or rejected in full. You cannot edit them. And just like before, you'll get a confirmation message when you've approved or rejected your reviews. That concludes the administration training session. Thank you for joining me, and look for other recordings on list management and our interactive dashboard reports. Thank you very much.